everybody. So today we're going to have a look at our fairy house and talk a little bit about how it was constructed and a little bit about the materials that we used for furnishings on the inside for each room. And we have 3 rooms. Firstly, we built the house itself out of some scrap plywood. You could use a ready-made shelf, an old shelf that you could probably get inexpensively. You could thrift something like that. And we collected pine cones to shingle the roof. We just hot glued those on there. So the roof is all covered in pine cone shingles. And then we just used acorns and shells and things to decorate that we gathered. And the sides are sided with birch twigs that we gathered just from around our property, and I hot glued those on there just for a natural look. And the front of it, which you'll see later in the video, is just covered in bark that we collected from around the house, and you could and it's just hot glued on there. We did some little decorative touches on the openings for the windows. Now we just cut those openings very roughly. I wanted them to be sort of organic feeling. And I used some grapevine that we have around our property. Just dried grapevine. I like the little curly cues of it to give an architectural detail. The little dresser that you see in this bedroom was found in a thrift shop. I think it was supposed to be a jewelry box. And we made some little perfume bottles to go on top there. The shelves are interesting because we hot glued, very simple, hot glued acorns without their tops onto the walls themselves with the flat part facing up, which made a great surface for any kind of shelf. And we glued a piece of driftwood for the shelf here, but you could really use anything at all. Anything natural that you could find. Driftwood works really well, but bark, anything that you find, any old scrap piece of wood would be great. And the bed is a wire bed that we made from copper wire and a little knitted mattress. And the little sewing machine was thrifted as well. Some little wooden spools that we found. This little bed here, this little cot, is just a little seed pod that we glued some wooden beads onto the bottom, and we thought that made a really nice fairy baby cot. And down to our kitchen, we have quite a bit of stuff in our kitchen here. And let's have a look. The little hutch in the kitchen was thrifted also. I think I paid $1 for it. And we filled it up with some miniatures that we collected from Dollhouse stores and different things that we thrifted. The little coffee grinder is great. It's made of brass, and was a keychain. So I think I paid $0.25 for that, which is a pretty great deal. And we have quite a collection of dishes. And I wanted to talk about this little bowl also. This little orange bowl was actually a little incense dish. So if you get those little kits that have incense, the little incense cones, they usually come with a little dish to burn the incense in. So that's where that came from. And as soon as I saw that, I thought that would be great. I'm always thinking about the fairy house and the doll houses. We're kind of obsessed with miniatures. A little table we made, cutting some branches and hot gluing those together to make a rustic table, and our little Fimo pie ready to be served. And actually the wood stove was a tutorial from my Froggy Stuff, and I'll put a link to that. That's a great quick craft to make for your dollhouse or fairy house using recycled materials, very inexpensive. So that's a great one there. And then let's come downstairs to the bottom floor. This is the living room or the front room. And when we cut the opening for the door, we saved the little piece that came out, and we added hinges and a little wooden bead to make a door for the fairies to come in and out. The fireplace was already constructed, and we just found that in a goodie bag at the Value Village or one of those thrift shops where there was a lot of stuff in there, and that just happened to be one of them. The little sleigh, the little wooden sleigh, is a Christmas ornament, and we just thought it was the perfect size and handy for the fairies to go carting their found items, carting them around. I can imagine them bringing back. And a little twig bench that we made just from the twigs on our property. And we hot glued little acorn caps onto the wall to make the little tips on them, make great hooks for hanging the baskets and bags and buckets. And I think that little chair was a Christmas decoration also, meant to hang on the Christmas tree. So that's our fairy house. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.